So earlier this year, I think it was in March, I applied for Rotten Tomatoes critics approval. I wanted to be a Rotten Tomatoes critic. And I knew it was kind of a Hail Mary pass because I actually don't know a whole lot of people that have applied and have gotten approved. They seem to have some pretty rigid qualifications. But I did it anyway, and it's been months, and I finally got my answer back today, and it's no. Of course, I mean, honestly, of course, it's no. But I wanted to make a video about it because it's been a really interesting process. The reason I applied in the first place is because I saw an opportunity to sort of expand my voice beyond what I've built on YouTube. I have my website, cerealatmidnight.bsky.social. I have Letterboxd, of course. I don't use Letterboxd like everybody else seems to use Letterboxd, where you go and you search for a movie and someone's been like, it's all right, kind of mid. That's, I will write paragraphs of what I think. I write reviews. That's what I do, is I write reviews, and I've been doing that for a very long time, over 10 years. And I have amassed an archive of hundreds of movie reviews, but I also review new movies too. And I don't often talk about them on YouTube because, frankly, as you've seen me complaining about in the past, non-new release coverage sinks like a stone on this channel. So I tend to just write those up for my website, for Letterboxd, for social media. And I'm an only child. I grew up, honestly, alone, like in my neighborhood, no other kids in my neighborhood. I spent most of my time by myself. And I'm not only okay with that, like I'm happy with that. That's who I am. I like to be by myself. I like to go places by myself. So the idea of, seeking approval for my voice. Is my voice good enough to be part of your voice? That was kind of difficult for me, but I've been encouraged to do it because it can raise your status when you get that little tomato meter thing by your name. That it's good for traffic, and frankly, it's good for business. That's the bottom line. So I got this response today. Thank you for your application and your patience during our review process, because it has been 6 or 7 months. Unfortunately, we're unable to offer you a tomato meter approval at this time. We find your reviews engaging, thank you, and see how passionate you are about film. However, our team found that a significant portion of your review coverage consists of retrospectives and recommendations. As the tomato meter is relevant to theatrical and recent releases, we prefer to include critics whose reviews are timely and up to date. Now, I take a little bit of issue with this because I have reviewed well over a dozen 2025 movies, and I realize that certainly more than a dozen movies have been released this year, but this does come mere days after I've posted a review for Spinal Tap 2. I've got a review for The Unholy Trinity, the Lilo and Stitch remake from 2025, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Thunderbolts, The Surfer, which I freaking love, the Nicolas Cage movie, Sinners, A Working Man, Snow White, Novocaine, Black Bag, Mickey 17, The Monkey, The Substance, The Brutal. I only talk primarily recommendations and retrospectives. I mean, I don't know if that's accurate. I hear you, Rotten Tomatoes. I hear you. But I did see this coming. I don't want to say like I manifested this rejection. No, but I know, again, I've talked to so many people who have submitted for Rotten Tomatoes approval, and only a couple of them have gotten approved. And here's the thing, they're young. They're like in their 20s or maybe their 30s, and I am not that. I'm well into middle age, and I'm probably rigid and inflexible, and I know what direction I'm going, and I know what I want. And that probably is not appealing to an organization like this. I don't know. I look at, when you submit for application, they show you examples of Rotten Tomatoes people and approved critics. And of course, there are established voices, but the ones that they show you are all like young people and I guess what we would probably consider, to put it in kind terms, marginalized voices. That's what they were focusing on. That's what they were highlighting. And I'm not against that, but I also am not that thing. I am not a marginalized voice. So I am probably not a good poster child for Rotten Tomatoes because I'm stubborn and set in my ways. And I think of the Groucho Marx quote, which is... I refuse to join any club that would have me as a member. That's the quote. I kind of do feel that way because I see, like, it seems to me any organization that goes on for any period of time deals with some sort of corruption. It deals with some sort of like a hijacking of the message. And we all know, really, we know that there are tons of movies that are manipulating Rotten Tomatoes scores, because before a movie even comes out, you'll see 100% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's because they're playing these games where they'll release it to a certain group of people who will provide a positive review. I know for a fact people get paid for reviews, paid for positive reviews, and I think it's probably been made clear that I'm not going to do that. But I don't know, I just wanted to make a video about this. I think the thing that bothers me about this is saying that they're like, well, we're really looking for newer theatrical reviews. And I'm like Superman or Fantastic Four or all these other movies that I've talked about. It doesn't feel genuine to me. It feels like an excuse, because if you click the links that I've sent you, well, those things exist. And that's just 2025. I was even more on the ball last year because this year has been the year of commentaries for me, because I've done, couple of commentaries a month all year long, and that takes up a lot of energy. But that's not how, A Complete Unknown, Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim Rim, Wicked, Fire Maidens of Outer Space, that's an old one, Saturday Night, Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, let's see, Joker, Folie à Deux, Megalopolis, The Critic, Furiosa, Mad Max. Why don't I talk more about new movies? So I find myself, the core YouTube audience that I've built they don't want me to talk about new movies at all. They're like, new movies suck. People, they haven't made a good movie since Jurassic Park in 1993. Like, I get a lot of that. And then, there's that audience. And then this Rotten Tomatoes audience says, well, you talk about too much old stuff. So I'm a man without a country. Here we are. But I'm not a man without a country, because it's my country. This is the realization I had coming out of that last YouTube crisis, when I realized that YouTube was unplugging my microphone, is that, well, when I free myself from depending on YouTube or Rotten Tomatoes or whatever it may be, ain't nobody getting in my way. I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about whenever I want to talk about it, and nobody's going to unplug my microphone. I will keep finding platforms to do what I do. So here I am again after this rejection letter, and I will keep finding ways to talk about what I want to talk about. I'll talk about old movies. I'll talk about new movies. I love movies more than just about anything, and I'm going to keep talking about them. So there we are. I could resubmit, hey, we would like to revisit your work after you've gained further experience by publishing reviews for recent releases. Oh, I should start talking more about recent releases, like the ones I just mentioned. If circumstances change and you wish to reapply, please do so after March of 2027. So months away, and it'll of course be 6 months. I'm not going to reapply. This tells me what I need to know. This also tells me how much attention they're paying. It's probably a guy going through this stuff on his lunch break, and he's like, I see a lot of old movies here. I see, he's probably on YouTube looking at the catalog. Now I sound a little defensive. I have to guess, because what they've told me does not feel accurate to me. The reason that I've been given does not feel accurate to me. Well, if you want to focus some more on recent releases, what? Okay, here we are. I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you guys for continuing to hang tight with me as we navigate an ever-changing world with ever-changing platforms. One thing will remain constant, and that is my stubbornness and my refusal to be muzzled or to probably to play nice. Like, I'm not a joiner. I'm not somebody who's going to come join your thing. If you're sending me like join my group on Facebook, I'm probably not gonna. Look, I'm probably not gonna. And it's not because there's anything wrong with you. I got my own stuff going on. I'm doing my own thing over here. For better or for worse, we'll get through it together. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Take care. Hey, this would be a good time to mention memberships, because I am making videos directly for members now. Not This has been a misunderstanding by some people, not everybody. I'm not only making videos for members, but I am focusing on making videos for my channel members. Early access, ad-free videos, the fringy stuff that's not super bankable on YouTube, that I know is not going to get a lot of clicks on YouTube, well, that's going to be a members video. So that's both here on YouTube and on Patreon. I'm creating directly for the audience that I've built at this point. Again, not exclusively, but with a heavy focus on that. Because I know if I make something and I drop it, they're going to see it. No platform's going to unplug my microphone for those. They will know that I made those videos. And that's the name of the game, is having something to say and finding a way to say it and to be heard. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm out of here.